We shall commence with the conference in 2 minutes from now. Digvision, if you could just intimate me. Jafar Hussain, Rima Kumari, Vishnu. Welcome back, everyone. I'm P. Shravan Kumar, the founder of SK Associates and Group, and your host for today's conference 1.6 on how to build your dream team for your startup.
And I'm Aditi Jain, the Chief Strategic Alliance Advisor of SK Associates and Group, and I'm Shravan's co-host for Conference 1.6 on how to build your dream team for your startup. We would like to request all the speakers and attendees to switch on your webcams and stay on video throughout the conference. Now, we would like to quickly introduce our guest for the third session of Conference 1.6.
Firstly, we would like to introduce Mr. Rahul Jain, who is a creative HR professional with 22 years of post qualification experience with merit of working in reputed organizations in APAC regions based at Singapore and India with diversified industry segment in media, agricultural, commodity trading, shipping, electrical and electronics, beverages, packaging and automotive industries in all the ranks handling corporate, plant HR, C&B, in-house trainer roles. He's also a social media enthusiast, ranked among top 30 HRs on Twitter by SHRM in 2022.
Our next guest on the panel is Ms. Pratima Jagdish, is a corporate leader turned to an academic entrepreneur. She is the founder director of Crickers Academy of Management and Education, which is at Bangalore. Her passion towards education, enhancement of life skills, and keenness on developing career skills to provide an authority and success to students and working professionals is the prime objective behind her dream. She is an engineering graduate with MBA in International Business, followed by doctorate in Business Administration in Human Resource. Along with her, yet another professional doctorate in Management gave her an edge to serve in corporate for more than 2 decades. She is an alumnus of IIMA and also carries academic credential from XLRI, Transformation Academy of USA, and Indian Institute of Business Psychology.
That was a great profile, Aditi. But now we would like to also present Dr. Neeraj, who is a PhD in management and MBA in human resource management. He has also been instrumental in setting up 5 corporate healthcare projects since inception, has extensive experience in managing large-scale projects from the requirement gathering phase to completion. He specializes in handling operations management, performance management, conflict management, organizational development, recruitment, training and development, and workforce planning. He has worked at different capacity with brands like Hinduja, Aditya Birla, Vasanaiker, Alchemist Limited, Shalby Limited, and with different other big industry players. At present, Dr. Neeraj is working as a general manager of human resources with Paras Group of Hospital. His passion includes mentoring and coaching employees and college students and giving in-depth training on different aspects of management. He is a visiting faculty to management institutes like Devi Ahilya University, D.Y. Patil University, Chitrakara University, Vijay Patil School of Management, and many more.
We are also glad to have Leona, a young enthusiastic HR professional with BCom corporate secretaryship from prestigious Stella Maris College, Chennai, and pursuing part-time MBA in human resource management. She is creative, passionate, friendly, and a destined HR business partner who has knowledge and understanding of corporate structure and business needs, who loves to interact and connect with people, is skilled in listening to problems and articulating solutions. She can offer recommendations, make decisions, carry out goals. She has very commendable interpersonal skills, also very ambitious and determined to make an impact as a professional.
We also have Mr. Selva Kumar R, who is a passionate and high energy human resource professional with relevant working experience in the information technology and services industry. He has worked as a HR professional in coordination with a project manager. Mr. Silva Kumar is skilled in talent acquisition, HR operations, administration activities with strong communication skills. He loves working with people and building relationships, especially with ones who have energy and better life experiences, which helps him to learn and explore young ideas. Currently, Mr. Kumar is working with Lawson and Turbo as a part of the HR and recruitment team.
Last but not the least, we are honored to have Rampriya, who is a competent people manager who had a strong stint in the IT and ITS, aviation, engineering, and real estate industries in India and the Middle East, handling a gamut of HR, training, and development initiatives. In the recent past, she was instrumental in setting up and scaling the L&D function of a well-established real estate company in Chennai, India. She is a post certified trainer and the head of the internal compliance committee in her organization. An empathetic listener with proven skills in conducting coaching sessions on workplace behavior and performance challenges. Her experience of working in Oman and Bahrain with diverse nationalities combined with her high levels of emotional intelligence enables her to effectively deliver programs on communication, business etiquette, customer service skill, cross cultural adaptability for reputed organizations and hospitality groups. She is also a part time CIPD trainer and a remote assessor for Chartered Institute of Personal Development UK programs with PricewaterhouseCoopers Middle East. She is a Carnegie certified trainer.
Now, we would like to again request all the attendees to kindly switch on your webcams. Shreyash, Yamini Rao, Jafar Hussain, Elisa Kujur, Jivana, Rahulji, Varathan, Subbu, Dr. Neeraj, Vishnu, Srihari, Leona, if you could just switch on your webcams, it would be a pleasure. Further, moving on, I would like to invite Mr. Rahul Jain, Head HR at Tractors and Farm Equipment Limited, to share his insights on today's topic. Thank you. You are not clearly visible, Rahul. If you could just switch on your webcam.
Okay. I'm keeping the webcam off because I'm traveling. I'll
Actually,
switch on in between.
fine, no issues.
A very hot topic and hello. I hope I'm audible.
You are audible, but it's getting cut out in the mid. So, like, if you could just adjust it.
Okay. This topic of startup is leading with the number of startups which are
Your voice is cracking, Rahul. If you could just. Am I audible? Aditi? Your voice is cracking, Rahul. If you could just change your network connection, please. Aditi, I guess until Mr. Rahul rejoins, we can continue with the next guest. That would do it.
Sure. I would like to invite Dr. Neeraj Kumar, General Manager of Human Resource at Paras Healthcare, to share his thoughts.
Yeah, good evening, all. I believe you can hear me loud and clear? And hello.
Yeah, you are clearly audible, Dr. Neeraj.
Perfectly all right. Thank you very much for inviting me. See, I'd like to just share my experience overall. We are in a very sensitive industry. In hospital industry, we are very sensitive. We either deal with life and death. There is no third thing in between, either life or death. So everybody has to be proactive. And when you say about a dream team, I don't know, everybody wants the best of the best. Nobody wants to go for the number second, everyone wants the number one. But in today's world, I believe when you go for the team formation, whichever industry you are, irrespective of health or mining or petroleum industry, you should have a fitter team rather than the fatter team. Fitter team is important. People still believe, some people have a concept of having a fatter team. They believe that that would be suffice their purpose. But no, I believe fitter team is more important. That team who can handle the crisis. We saw all COVID. We saw the current crisis came. Now it went away. New crisis will come again. I am again saying some new innovative crisis will come. So we have to be on the toes. The team should be able to deal with the crisis. That is important, And the dream team should be future-proof and ready for transition. ऐसा नहीं होने चाहिए कि नहीं मैं जिस फील्ड में हूँ मैं वहीं पे रहूंगा. This is my comfort zone. We need to move from the comfort zone, whether it's you or me, or whether I am 20 years old, or whether I am 60 years old, or I am 80 years old. We need to move. The transition has to happen, and it should be future-proof. It's unlikely that you can be 100% sure about the future-proof, but yes, you can try to be the future-proof. And when you go with the the team, please ensure that the ethical compass should not be compromised. Whatever may come, the moment you start compromising on your ethical compass, the moment you start compromising on your values, your downtrend starts of your life. So you have to be, doubly sure on the ethical compass. Competition is everywhere. You tell me where competition is not there. एक छोटे से बच्चे अगर फर्स्ट क्लास का बच्चा है उसमें वहां पे भी नर्सरी में भी कंपटीशन है. Competition is everywhere. You cannot say competition can be wiped out. In your family or life also, you see the maids have a competition. इस घर में काम करना है, उस घर के साहब अच्छे हैं, maid साहब अच्छी हैं. Competition cannot be wiped out. But competition is not for the person who is out of the league. थोड़े से आपको हट के रहना है. If you want to escalate in life, you want to go in like a meteor. आपको थोड़ा सा अलग होना पड़ेगा. You need to take off the runway. आप एरोप्लेन को लेके आप उसी रनवे पे आप 500 km/h के स्पीड से दौड़ रहे हैं, कोई फायदा नहीं है unless until you take off. So you have to take off from the runway. Whichever way you need to take off, but the moment you take off, then the life new journey starts. The competition is for the people who are on the runway. The moment you go out of runway, there is no competition. There is very limited competition the moment you are in the air. So you have to go out of the runway. Now, the three important, for making the dream team, I believe the three important challenges everyone is facing in any industry. One is talent war. There's a talent wall everywhere. Employee productivity and customer satisfaction. These three needs to be addressed at any cost wherever you want to make a dream team, or you want to, survival of the fittest policy applies everywhere. The theory applies. So you need to have a talent war. You need to manage the talent war. You need to manage the employee productivity. You need to manage the customer satisfaction. And in today's world, since we are in the, a very, just hold on, please. Just hold on, please, if you don't mind, for a second, please. Just for a
I would like to request Ms. Reema Kumari to share a poll in the chat box for our audience.
I am extremely sorry. I'm clear?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm traveling in a hotel and somebody knocked at my room. I'm so sorry for that, for the inconvenience. I'm extremely sorry. So what I was saying is, let software do the weightlifting. In today's world, everything is in WhatsApp, LinkedIn. There are so many innovative softwares are there. So let software do the heavy lifting. Why to overload our brain and think ye bhul gaya, ye chhoot gaya, ye kaise hoga. Nowadays Excel or rest of the things are so good. I mean, when you make your dream team or any company, let do the software play the important role for you. And see, you need to leverage on each and every people. Like जैसे ऑर्केस्ट्रा की मैच हो रहे हैं या फुटबॉल मैच हो रहा है, you cannot be sure on one people. You have to leverage on each and every individual. The goalkeeper is important, the front foot person is a backward guy is important. All plays an important role. Everybody has their role. So you cannot say ye mera star I'm not saying that the star performers are not there. They are there. But yes, you need to leverage on each and every individual. You cannot say ki this is the only guy and rest all are useless. So you need to harness the potential of each and every individual. And I believe you need to manage the workplace, and the workforce would be managed automatically. We do other way around. We start managing the workforce and then we don't go for the workplace. You just manage the workplace. Any organization you are working with, any place you are working, and you see automatically the workforce would come on the track. Everything would fall in the place. Now, whatever targets you have, whatever thoughts you have, it should be tangible and measurable. Please remember, the moment it's not measurable and it's not tangible, things will go haywire and you will have a rift among the team. You will have tension. You will have, you like to bring new thoughts every day. So I don't have any problem if you bring new thoughts, but it should be tangible. It should be measurable. Now, I'm a marketing team guy, suppose, and my boss has given me a target of revenue of 1 CR per annum. That's fine. It's measurable, tangible. But it cannot be next year he can make it 2 CR. So everything has a protocol, everything has a step. If a child is 5 years old, you cannot make it 10 years in 1 month time. He would need a time to grow. Similarly, the plant would also need a time to grow. So everything has a step-by-step move. So when you make your dream team, be very clear. Yes, in 6 months, this is a target. In 6 months, 1 year, whatever. I mean, it's your internal thing, but you need to manage the show. It cannot be overnight. Everything cannot go taken for a ride. Also, I suggest that transparency should be there. Transparency in home also, in office culture. The moment transparency is there, people trust you. See, we all like to become a vice president, managing director, chairman. We all like to become, at whatever age it is. There's nothing wrong. But you become a successful manager when people trust you. Trust doesn't mean that कि सर वो ये काम कर रहा है, सर मैंने आपको information दे रहा हूँ, कल ये होने वाला है, कल वो data present नहीं करेगा. Not that trust I'm talking. The moment you start sharing your personal information with your boss, that's the period you understand that trust is building up. अगर मेरा डाइवोर्स होने वाला है तो मैं ये बातें मैं अपने बॉस को क्यों बताऊं? Because he's my boss. But if I have a trust with him or her, then only I like to share the personal information. And it's the job of my boss also to not to share with the whole world, because I have trusted my boss or him or her. So the transparency and trust is important. And the moment you start gaining our trust from your boss, you are going to be a good boss. Please remember that. See, money doesn't matter a lot. I'm not saying money is important. Not important. It's very important for everybody. Who earns a crore a month, for them, or it is less. But for somebody you find you earning 25,000, he or she is happy. So money is not an important criteria, Money is important factor. Just hold on, somebody again rang my bell. I'm so sorry for that. I'm extremely pleased. Accept my apology. Give me 1 minute, please.
Until then, I would like to request all the attendees and guests to actively participate in the poll. You have a question here, the first poll of the day. A bit technical one though.
Again, this is the problem. It happens when you travel. I'm not at home. That's the reason.
So I was off, Mr. Neeraj.
Come again.
Yeah. Now you're visible. Clearly.
I'm visible. Okay, perfectly all right. Now, see, I was saying that transparency is important. Also, when the roots are strong, the leaves and branches will be strong. So, as a boss, the roots have to be strong. If you automatically, you need to create the value culture, you need to create the systems in the place. And also important is the real-time feedback. Suppose you are wrong, you're right. I should appreciate you if you're wrong. I should, tell you not in the public, in the private, wherever you're wrong. It should not happen कि मैं आपका प्रमोशन करने वाला हूँ या इंक्रीमेंट करने वाला हूँ 1 साल के बाद, उस समय आपको मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि सर on 1947 you did this, in 1967 you did this, so I'm not giving you promotion. Or so better real-time feedback plays a very important role in any organization you are in, whether you are a startup, whether you are a NASA, or whether a Google or you are Accenture. People leaves, please remember that. ऐसा कोई भी जगह नहीं है जहाँ पे पब्लिक जो लोग जॉब नहीं छोड़ते हैं. People leave NASA also. They have some hiccups there, and they don't leave NASA. They leave their boss. That is, known fact that people leave boss is nothing to. It's a very common phenomena. So you need to challenge the status quo. Nobody likes the stagnant water. You will also like to drink a water. बहती हुई झरना से आप पानी पीना चाहोगे. कहीं भी अगर pond stagnant है, तो आप उसका पानी नहीं पीना चाहोगे. So you should challenge the status quo. Suppose I am doing 1 CR per month, my organization is doing, and we are happy. No. Why? Because see, the cake is this big only. Somebody will be eating the pie. Whether you eat the pie or else will eat the pie. So you need to expand your horizon. You need to challenge the status quo. You need to move out the cocoon. You need to take the risk. It's not that it's a one-day job or it's a week job. It's a continuous process. It's a continuous process, slow and steady. You need to move ahead. And I told you, real-time feedback is important. See, in today's world, ultimate decision makers are customers. Customers can be outsider, customers can be insider also. For me, suppose I am HR, you are a marketing guy. For you, I am a customer. For me, I am a customer for you. For internal customers, taking. So they are the real feedback giving people or real decision making people. So you need to be on your toes continuously when you are moving ahead. Sometimes it's okay if you don't know the subject. It's not that you are Brahmagyani, that you know everything in life, or I know everything in life. It's okay if you don't know the subject, but it's important that you take the initiative to know it and you accept the fact that yes, I don't know. We should improvise on that. As I told you, we need to leverage on each and every individual. हो सकता है मुझे एक्सेल नहीं आता हो, आपको एक्सेल आता हो, अच्छा आप वर्ड ज्यादा अच्छे जानते हो मेरे से. I am a boss, but that's fine. I don't know Excel. It's nothing like that. If I don't know boss, if I don't know Excel, I cannot be a good boss. It's not that. No, see, only thing is permanent in this world is change. Change is the only constant thing in this world. We need to change ourselves. We need to change the world. We need to change our family members. Change doesn't mean that, tomorrow I suppose start learning French. I'm changing myself. Change doesn't mean that I need to do something drastic or something big. So we are the architect of our own experiences. We need to rely on experiences, learn and go ahead in life. And please remember, important thing is, I like to end is, leadership is a choice. Leadership is never forced on anybody. If it is forced, it's not successful. It's a choice. So you need to decide whether you want to take the leadership position or not. Whether you are a housekeeping guy, I am okay. But you can be a leader for your housekeeping. Or else you are a housekeeping guy, but you are a leader for your family. Your family respects you as a leader. Ki aapne jo bola hai, that carries a weight. You can be a leader in your family, or you can leader in your society, which in tower you lives. So it doesn't mean that a leader has to be, with the feathers or with the MBA or PhDs or IIMs, IITs. Leader can be anybody. People have to be the leader. And in today's world, you need to decide whether you want to become a leader, you want to become a follower. So in your dream, it's not that, as a ready-made cooked dream team or a very a team which is very fascinated or with a hanky-panky, you are dressed in a very... Leadership team is a team where you need to leverage upon and you need to have a choice whether you need to go ahead. Leadership doesn't mean you are in the front. You can be a leader if you stand at the back also. And let the your team lead at the front and you as a guide or mentor from behind. So it's a leadership is a choice. And for becoming a dream team, you need to be a leader in each and every perspective. Some things you don't know, some things you know, that's fine. But yes, you need to lead the show. You need to carry the baton. You need to run. You cannot move out of the race. This is, I like to summarize and, rest my words. anything, please feel free to ask, please. Thank you very much.
We would like to thank Dr. Neeraj Kumar for his amazing and informative speech. You showed us multiple insights which are not covered in the past 2 days too. However, I would like to request you to share your email ID in the chat box for any queries the attendees might have.
I'll do.
Further, I would like to invite Mr. Rahul Jain to continue his speech. I hope I'm audible, Rahul.
Hello.
Yeah.
I hope I'm audible now. Can you confirm?
Yeah, you are clearly audible.
Great. So, pretty interesting topic, and then India is a place where you see that most of the startups are running. And as I was at the beginning, that somebody who's a passionate individual has an idea which is a differentiating factor, goes for a startup, and then building a team is something that you need to find out like-minded people who relate to your passion, who can contribute to your ideas, and who also share the same vision which you have for your own startup. So the startup, they
You're not clear,
a
Rahul.
new business or a new setup.
If you could just check on your network once. Aditi, I guess we can call the next speaker to a table until Mr. Jain sets up his network.
Sure. Now I would like to call Ms. Pratima, founder and director of Life Coach Careers Academy, to commence her speech.
Okay, great. Very good evening, folks. Am I audible or should I wear a headset?
You are audible, yeah.
All good? Great. Thank you so very much. Good evening to each one of you over here, and great management sessions and the insights. I hope that in the last 2 days, you folks have had an opportunity to listen out to many evangelists in their respective domains, and all of us come with our own set of experiences depending on our exposure. And well, I'm over here while one of my dearest friend who looks really beautiful on the screen, she did give you a little bit insights about me. I'm Dr. Pratima Jagdish, a corporate leader, a HR evangelist turned academic entrepreneur, a life coach and a business coach, and something which I am very proudly would want to say, a typical businesswoman. So unlike being from any of the corporate world, I come with a combination of experience, both from the corporate world and also running a business, particularly to do with the service-oriented industry of education and academics. So having said that, in the last 23 years of the rich experience in all these years, I have had these insights towards both the corporate world and how do you want to, and I come from the human resources background. HR, I can definitely say that's in my DNA, and because HR is something that I am focusing also, where I run the Chrysalis Academy of Management and Education, where I build the HR fraternity, totally who are interested to pursue and also become an aspiring HR professional. So these are the skill development courses that we also run. But this is a part of my business because HR is something that I thoroughly believe in. Having said that, in this particular session, SK Associates in the group, thank you so very much, Shravan. I don't know whether Prerna is over here. Thank you so much for following it up. And before I start off speaking, you guys have done a commendable job. I have been a mute spectator in your groups, and there were follow-ups to log in at the right time. And I think I thoroughly appreciate your organization skills and Hats off to all your efforts. Thank you so very much. Well, this is one of the very nice topics of how to build your dream team for your startup. Okay. So while startup, India and its economy is having the kind of a startup hub, we have a lot of innovative organizations coming up, but we have a long way to go for specifically the innovation. But apart from that, we have the solution oriented, the product based organization, and also with respect to the kind of service oriented organizations as well. So having said that, while I come with a combination of the HR as a part of the management and the corporate world, along with the business entrepreneurial experience as well, being an entrepreneur, let me tell this to you, it is not about the full time or the part time. Assuming that you're all prospective, somebody as a part of entrepreneurial journey in the years to come, I definitely vouch that you should try being an entrepreneur after a point of time, having some experiences, gaining some experience in your work life. Entrepreneurial journey is totally a different journey altogether, where you will leverage your potential and your energy to the fullest extent. You will literally live your life with agile and flexibility, and how adaptable you are is something that you will actually go ahead to experiment on the real time basis. Trust me, when I went ahead to take a plunge being an entrepreneur, it was the boldest decision that I had ever taken. I was speaking to one of my friends this afternoon, and I was just telling him the same thing. The boldest decision I have ever taken in my life is starting my own thing. In spite of, irrespective of the age where you are in, but ensure that you leverage on your strength. And working for someone else is the easiest thing you can ever do in life. Trust me on my words. Okay, but running a business takes tenacity, running a business takes a potentiality, running a business takes being both agile and being flexible, of taking and being very, very decisive in nature. Particularly for women, it needs 2x efforts. Remember this. Also, being a women business entrepreneur, I would really want to watch this. Okay, having said that, whenever we look at the corporate world, whenever we look at the working for someone else, we'll say that, okay, this is part-time, this is full-time, etc. Being an entrepreneur is neither the part-time nor the full-time, guys. It is about your purpose. It is about the life itself, and where do you just not earn, but you will actually make a difference. That's the biggest aspect and the element as a part of your entrepreneurial startup. So whenever you are looking out for a startup, remember that it is not a part-time or a full-time. It is not about working for 18 hours a day as well. Of course, it needs to be 18 hours a day when you are running your own business, because you are the main fuel for it. But on the contrary, you just don't make money, you just don't earn, but also your objective for any startup is how much difference are you making? What is the kind of the mass that you are going to change, either with your solution or your product or your services, whatever it might be, your idea or the ideations for that matter. So all these speakers would have spoken to you about the kind of experiences and the exposure that they have had, which I endorse it completely, because I was also listening to Dr. Neeraj. So he also provided quite a lot of insights on that matter. But here I'm going to discuss or share my part of my thought process, and also what I firmly believe in. So remember these 4 pillars of your business. Okay, while you start up, as a part of your setting your entire dream company, dream team, you will leverage on the business idea for that first matter. Okay, your business idea matters quite a lot. And along with your business idea, what is the kind of idea that you are having? Again, the 3 subcategories in it. What is, how different is your idea? What is your idea really required by the people? You will always have to look forward. Is it really required by people? You can have 100 ideas, but is it really necessary? The third aspect of it is, what is the problem that you are going to solve with your idea? Remember, with your idea as a part of your business, 3 things. How different is it? Is it required by the people? The third is, what kind of a problem are you solving with your solution, with your services, with your product, be it anything? This should be your first pillar of your business. The second part of it, your business, is technology. Today, with the kind of internet of the things around you, Technology plays an extremely crucial and the vital role. And how are you leveraging, irrespective of whichever element, whichever services, whichever domain, whichever sector, whichever industry that you are tapping with your idea, you will have to leverage your technology. Leveraging the technology is something that you cannot be exempted out of it, be it in the social media. Understand how can you use your technology with what ideas that you have, because your business actually needs, and technology will have to play as a catalyst role as a part of your idea. Okay, remember, business is your first pillar, technology is your second pillar. The third pillar, most of them lose out on the complete view of the third pillar. I repeat, please remember your process, extremely important. If all of us have great ideas and all of us come up with the technology, you create an awareness in the social media, all said and done. And when it comes to the people, whenever you're starting up your startup, you will come up with your own network of the people who are your good friends, whom you can leverage on, depend on, all said and done. Because of your personal relationship, there is an oversight, there is an overview. Chalta hai. It is okay. Because I know, Shravan is my best friend, Prerana is my very good friend, she is there, I can bank on them. I don't think so. Come on, do you need my signature that you're working over here? Not required. Never ever do this mistake. Remember, process has got again 3 subcategories, my dears. First is registration. Okay. Of course, you will register, but get to know your compliance. Is it a proprietorship? Is it a private limited? Is it a public limited? What are the norms that you are supposed to be doing? Or is it an LLP? LLP is limited liability partnership. If it is a limited liability partnership, what is the documentation from the registration per se, whether it is the Ministry of Corporate Affairs or is it a National Information Center? What exactly are you supposed to be registering under is extremely important. This is your first part of your process. The second part of it is documentation, which is internal to your organization, be it your offer letters, be it your probationary letters, be it your stocks and shares. Whatever that you are going to give is extremely important, irrespective of your personal, professional relationship, however best buddies and companions and comrades you have. Personal relationship is different, professional relationship is different. Make it documented very well, underline it, keep it bold, italics. Very important. And the third part of the process, subcategory, is your compliance, month on month, half yearly, yearly, and the financial documents. The 3 subcategories of the the process. So first category, I told you about ideas in the business. Second, I told you about the technology. And the third was process. In the process, registration is your subcategory. Documentation of your offer letters, policies, stocks, papers, LLP letters, etc. Must and should, you should have. And the third subcategory of your process is your compliance. Never ever oversee these parts, because it can shut down your entire process. So it is very important. And today, let me tell this to you, along with the kind of number of people whom you are going to employ, everything is so transparent from the legal aspects, from the government angle, because once upon a time we had director identification number called DIN, we had labor identification number called LIN, and you also have PAN and PAN for the company, etc. Today, all these numbers are interconnected, and one portal can just throw every data available about your organization. So please remember, compliance is an extremely important element of your organization as a part of your third pillar, that is process. So, having said that, the fourth pillar of your business, of your idea, of your startup is people. The first pillar was business, second pillar was your technology, the third pillar was your process, and the fourth pillar is people by itself. I'm sure all the speakers would have spoken enough about people. But let me share my 2 cents thoughts about people, because everything, the entire crux stands upon the people whom you're going to build. So there are 2 kinds of people whom you will hire. One is the laterals, which is experienced professionals. One is the freshers, who are just as fresh to the industry as it is. So when it comes to laterals, they are the people whom you are supposed to be looking up to. So basically, when I hire or when I want to acquaint myself with people in my own organization, I look forward for their kind of an attitude, because the startup needs somebody who's with the right attitude. What do I mean by the right attitude is the one who trusts you. Just not about you, the one who trusts in your idea, the one who trusts in the business. So that becomes extremely a vital element as a part of your people who come on board for you. That is your first element as a laterals. The second element of the laterals is about, can they stand for you when you go through ups and downs? Because every startup will go through ups and downs. Like, say, for instance, in the COVID time, there were quite a lot of turmoil around. The adaptability was very, very challenging. But can we stand for you if you are my friend and if you are the CEO and the MD of the company? Just trusting the idea is not enough. Trusting and being there, being somebody whom you can depend on, a very dependable factor, matters a lot. So second element, I would want to look at it in that particular angle. And the third angle is somebody who's very decisive in nature, and just not decisive, an influencer in your team, because these are the people who build your team together. Unless and until they're influential, it just doesn't make any difference. It just doesn't add any value. Leadership is all about influencing. Leadership is always about aspirational and also injecting those aspirations and ensuring that other people are ambitious, and your energy and enthusiasm should be contagious. And that's exactly what I mean when I say they are somebody who's supposed to be influential. All influencers are great leaders by default. So the three elements whom I would want to be dependable, who are experienced professionals, along with being competent, very skilled, etc., would be somebody whom I can trust, somebody who can be dependable on with my ups and downs, and the third element is somebody who's decisive, who takes decision and who can influence the rest of my team, because I am not the only person who can influence the entire lot. This is about the experienced professionals. But when it comes to freshers, what is that I would want to look in the freshers when I want to hire is, first is being competent from the technology perspective, technical competency, functional competency. Do they understand the role? Do they understand the functions completely? And their behavioral competency. That is being very, very competent. And the second trait that I would want to look out in the freshers is hungry for opportunities. Do you have hunger? We say that, right? The Apple CEO, Steve Jobs, I love his statement to say, stay hungry and stay foolish. I would love to endorse that. Please hire somebody who are freshers, who are hungry and who are foolish, who thinks that I have the world to go ahead and embrace myself for myself. And those are the people whom you really need. And the third element in the freshers is the stability. I cannot keep jumping. The rolling stone does not attract the mass. So in the similar way, you should have somebody whom you have the stability with. You cannot just keep jumping and you leveraging, you training them for 6 months and they leave you. They look forward. And the second element, if they are able to, if they have that hunger for opportunity, and if you give them enough challenging job, obviously you will have the stability to overcome. So with my experience, I did mention about 4 elements: business, with your ideation, how ideas should be; the technology, how can you leverage your technology being a catalyst; the third, very important element as well, process, and in the process, what are the things that you are supposed to focus on; and the fourth element is the people, whether it is experienced professionals or the freshers, what kind of people would you want to hire them, etc. At last, but not the least, I have few things to share with my own experience as what is do's and don'ts. Okay, I will first cover on the don'ts so that I will cover more on the do's, because don'ts is something that you will have to be very attentive about, and where I have witnessed my own friends, a lot of other people, and a lot of entrepreneurs making this mistake, being very indecisive, not taking right decisions at the right time. Okay, it might sound very cruel, or not even cruel. It might sound saying that, okay, how can you even terminate someone, etc. But trust me, my dear friends, taking too much of time to take a decision is completely wrong, and it is no different from a wrong decision. Indecision is also a decision which is wrong and equivalent to a wrong decision. You not taking decision is extremely dangerous, and according to me, indecision is more dangerous than a wrong decisions. So please don't sit on the part of let me purchase the process, let me purchase the softwares, let me do this after 6 months, or somebody is not performing in your team, let me give them another 3 months, another 3 months. Give them you give them good time of 3 months and tell them, inject them with enough seriousness. But if they don't perform, nobody else is the loser except you. So decisiveness, taking decisions with respect to people, with respect to ideas, with respect to technology, with respect to the process is extremely important. Don't be indecisive in nature at any circumstances, and don't take time to decide. That is exactly what I would want to highlight all about. Next is, what is do's. As a startup, I think most of us
Sorry for
overlook the
interrupting,
marketing.
Pratima. If we could just wrap it up in a minute.
I
Yeah,
will, 2 minutes is all that I will take, Shravan.
that's
Okay.
fine. Okay.
So even if you wouldn't have said, I would have only taken 2 minutes. The do's is about marketing. Please ensure you focus on the marketing to create the awareness. Don't expect people will get to know. People will not get to know because it's your new idea, and you will have to create that awareness. Leverage the complete social media available, and instead of your personal things, highlight your startup, highlight your ideas. That's very important. Build your career, build your network. Very important. Use social media for building network and building ideas, and also building people and awareness about your ideations. And this is what I exactly would want to say. And being an entrepreneur, I think this is my ending lines to say, you know, basically your ideas is all that it matters. I totally agree. It is not about the direction that you are going, it is equally important, but along with the direction, most of them keep telling you speed is also important. While I agree speed is important, but more important than the speed is the pace. There is a lot of difference between speed and pace. Ensure you are going in the right direction, you have the pace, and speed will automatically get picked up. Wish you all the very best of luck for all the aspiring entrepreneurs. And there are a bunch of people like me or anybody else who can help you out. Reaches out. We are definitely there to give you the assistance with our exposure and experience. Thank you so much, folks. Those are my 2 words out of the sheer experience. Thank you.
I would like to thank Mrs. Pratima for her amazing and informative speech, and I request her to share her mail in the comment box for any queries our attendees might have.
Definitely. So you can reach out at pratima@crisers.in. This is my official email ID, folks. There I have typed in, I have keyed in. Feel free to write me anytime. Any help from my end, any insights, definitely happy to help. Thank you so much. And wish you all the very best of luck for all of you, for each one of you.
Thank you, Ms. Pratima.
Thank you.
Now we would like to request Ms. Leona, Human Resource Business Partner at TNQ's Technologies, to share her views.
Hi team, home I audible?
Yes, you are.
Super, great. It's really lovely to meet you all in the evening. Everybody with the bright faces and lovely smile on their face. So first, I would like to thank SK Associates for conducting a wonderful session for the young entrepreneurs here, young leaders, future leaders who's going to lead the. Am I right, team? Can I have a nodding? Cool. So I am directly jumping into the subject. I was given the topic of how to hire a dream team. I have 2 packs. The first pack contains of culture, time, and trust. Please don't mistake me. I have a lot of things to insights to share with you all. I just don't want to forget anything, so I've written down in a book so that I could give the insights without missing anything. So first, let me start with the culture. I think everybody would have noticed the work culture is changing. Am I right? So the work culture is changing in the environment of work. So here, first, people used to go at sharp at 9 o'clock, and they'll come out by 6, and they'll finish. They'll have their lunch at 30 minutes, and they'll be back. So this was the work culture in the beginning, but now it's turning towards flexibility. Yes. So with the flexibility, the work culture is being turning towards work from home. So here, let me start with the first thing, flexibility. Okay. So when you hire a team, just don't forget to be flexible. Yeah. Yes. So if someone is going to ask you to come in on time and go out on time, definitely no one is going to agree for that. Yes. So the flexibility is the most important criteria for anyone who's going to hire a team. And then when we come into culture, the flexibility is the first subheading under the culture. And now, so even if the service change, market change, or the technology change, even the what to say, even the work culture change, when your team is a resourceful team, they adapt, they pivot, and they move on with your work culture. Yes. So when you have a team of when you have a small team, how to explain you this? Hmm, okay, when you have a small team, they govern by you. Okay, but when you have a larger team, they govern and they have been grounded by a culture, work culture. Yes, team, agree. So very sorry, I'll be asking few questions in between. If you're okay, you can. You, I'm very happy to hear your answers. But if you're not okay, it's okay to be on mute. So and then without the right people, right culture, I don't believe the work is going to move forward, because your values and your ideas supposed to be conveyable, and the person supposed to get the idea of your work. Yes. And also I believe it doesn't make sense to hire smart people and work for your job, the work you are saying. Smart people will do the work you are saying. No, I don't agree with that. But instead, we hire smart people to tell us what we can do to achieve the task. Agree? So, but this was told by Steve Jobs. Okay, anyhow, when I'm hiring, this first pack, culture, trust, and time. Okay, so culture is the flexibility and adaptability that your team is going to indulge and gonna carry it forward. Yes, because skills definitely we can teach them, we can train them without any problem. Okay, but attitude matters. You have to come in with the right attitude. Yes, when you're going to be a leader, when you have a vision, but one particular person doesn't believe in your vision, doesn't believe in what you do, is going to stay in your team, and he's going to say he's going to be pessimistic all towards the work. Yes, but I would suggest, when the person comes in with the right attitude, you can definitely train him for your work and for your team. Yes. So, time. And nowadays, people are working from home. I am not sure who have been doing their internships here, or people, or definitely you will be having your siblings or your brothers working from home. Yes. So, you would have definitely noticed the way the style of working have changed in the market now. So in corporate now, flexibility has been the key. Only when the team is flexible, they are ready to work for the leader. If the leader is going to be very hard on the time, definitely the team is not going to accept the fact that we need to work 8 hours a day. But people are ready to work 18 hours a day when the leader is flexible. Yes. So here we have spoken about culture, flexibility, and attitude. So skills, definitely we can train the skills, right? Because we know what we want. When we are going to be an entrepreneur in future, we know the vision. Okay, but how we are going to reach the vision matters. So that's why we need to concentrate more on training your team. I'm so sorry if you could hear any interruptive noise. Okay. So next, I would like to talk about purpose. Everybody should have a purpose, right? Personally and professionally. But here, when you recruit your dream team, their purpose is supposed to work for the value of the team, right? So, when as a leader, you are supposed to influence your value and your idea about the market. Okay, so when we are not going to just go and present the project just for money, but that's your dream. That's your dream and that's your vision that you're working for. So when you hire your team, make sure that they understand your vision and wanted to work for your vision with the same positive note. Yes. So your team is supposed to be a reflection of yourself. Am I right? So, with this, and also I would like to talk about discipline. Discipline doesn't mean we have to wake up early in the morning, sleep on time, eat on time. But the discipline is about being transparent to your leader. Yes, your team should be transparent to yourself, and you should be transparent to yourself with what work you assign to your team. So when you recruit a team, make sure that they're transparent to you. Okay, so when you when you give them a task, make sure, okay, whether you can do it or not, put it right on the table, and make sure whether they understand the way that you wanted them to do. And even if they have any innovative ideas, give the liberty for them to work in your team. Agree? So, with this, also psychological fact in a team. Okay, so this is very, very important. You should not treat any lateral or a fresher differently because they are your team. They both are equal and they both work for the same vision, but the working style might differ. That's the liberty that you're going to give to your team and the respect to your team. Yes. Definitely nowadays there is no proper clock in and clock out, so that people have all liberty to work whenever they want and however they want, right? So we should also take that up. I don't want my team to work 8 hours a day. If my team works at least 3 hours a day, it's more than enough for me. But the output is important. Yes, everybody agree with that? Because 8 hours a day, you'll be working on the same task. But once, if I give the liberty for you to leave or for you to carry on with the next job you have, the person is definitely going to complete the work in few hours. Yes. So you don't have to drag all the day with the task is given to you. Also, when you are hiring, make sure the candidate is being mastery. Mastery is nothing but who's willing to learn. Okay, they should learn your vision, they should learn your idea so that they can work throughout the vision gets completed. Definitely our vision is going to change day by day, and after COVID, everyone's work culture have changed. The world is revolving in a different way now. Obviously everybody would agree with that. I don't think so no one is going to disagree with that. People here, definitely if it's happening 4 years back, I would have been meeting you in person to talk about and to what to discuss about the topic of the day. But now we have been turned to a flexible zone so that everybody is in a different zone in a different part of the city, but still we are flexible to connect and to convey our vision. But here, the same way when we work, the same flexibility is very, very important. So being a leader, you need to be flexible with your team. And also values. When we talk about values, uh, to think about it, think about the vision of your team. Okay, make sure you convey it to them. That's the first important thing that when you recruit a team, right? So when you do that, they understand how to work, and the way they work will teach you how to treat them. Yes. So with this, I would like to wind up the session. Thank you, team, for giving me the opportunity to talk about how to hire my dream team. So this is how I would like to hire my dream team. My dream team would be mastery, discipline, and purposeful with trust. Thank you, Kotishwari, for connecting with me for the session, and hope I didn't drag the entire conference to myself. So thank you, team. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity.
That was a great and interactive speech, Leona. Firstly, I would like to thank Leona for an intellectual and informative speech. Definitely, it was quite interactive and we enjoyed it. And I request her to share her email in the comment box for any queries our attendees might have. Now, we would like to invite Mr. Selvakumar R, HR professional at Larsen and Turbo, to share his views.
So, good evening, team, and I would like to thank SK Associates for conducting this wonderful event. So, I just wanted to share only 5 topics because everyone is already shared a huge one. So, I think it's a dinner time. Mostly people are face itself already going at dinner mood. So, sir, CEO, sir, I just wanted to change the one word, sir. how to hire your dream team for your startup. So I just wanted to replace the word hire to build. So the people are going to building their own team. So in their, I mean, a startup or maybe an large scale. So the 5 points is like have a clear vision for your startup. Before going to start a business, you need a clear vision and mission statement, because you are going to serve minimum of 5 to 10 years in a like a starting method. So point is the evaluate your startup needs. It means like a manpower, how many people you want to perform in your team. So it means like a various fields also. It's like a marketing, or it's like a accounting, or it's like a HR, or it's like a operations. Anyway, internet. Okay. So the third point is like use your connection to your advantage to build. How to say before starting, like my humble advice is like you guys build your professional network in terms of like a LinkedIn or any other social medias. Nowadays, the social media is always free. Everyone can use, right? So I suggest in my experience before. So the free source is a major part. So hiring the team, then reference. Mostly we are doing like a internal reference or employee reference kind of thing. So we are getting the perfect people in terms of reference. So install strong values in your team before, I mean, after hiring or before starting their work. So always, the fifth point is like always re-evaluate your team in terms of like whether they need a upskill in terms of training and development, or they need any support like a team size increases, or a recruitment understanding like they need any hope up to increase their productivity. Everything it will added. So the final topic is like engagement. Nowadays the corporate is mostly dealing with the engagement part. The people, the attrition rate also, mostly the organization facing the huge attrition. It's an engagement part. The one is a major part. So apart from that, I just wanted to share, before hiring you need to follow 3 steps like a budget. Whether your company or your like your business process, everything it involved in the within a budget, so it will be a great. Then I just wanted to share my own example. So I went on an interview during 2018. It was a startup firm, and the interviewer is like a managing director of this firm. And I done an interview excellent, and he also told like, Seba, you done an interview excellent, and your performance, your skills, everything is perfect. I can utilize your skills in terms of HR, in terms of IT field, but my budget is like not reaching your expectation. So before hiring a people in terms of freshers we can afford like a lateral, but
Mr. Kumar, I think you are struck. If you could just like check your network once. Yeah. You're still stuck, Mr. Kumar. If you could just rejoin once, it would be a pleasure. Is Mr. Kumar audible?
No.
Yeah, now you're audible. Visible.
yeah, now I'm audible. Sorry for the hello.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, sorry, there's some network issue. Okay. Anyway, so I'm saying like a budget and the values and finding right person for the right place. It's a major thing. So if you want to hire a like a marketing manager or marketing assistant, anyone, so you need to choose the perfect person in the right place. So before hiring, you need to think like you need to describe like a nowadays the people are following like a multiple also. So my humble advice, like a right person for the right place, is the perfect combination. So there is a 7 stages of the life cycle management. Usually, every corporate is following like attract, like bring the best talent to your team, then hire, select the best of the best in the persons, like a recruitment, then onboard, give them a best onboard joining. If it is like a startup, or if it is like a MNC, it's mostly they're following like how they are inviting us. That's the major part. Okay. Then engage. Provide them the best work environment to the engagement part, and perform. Drive performance is like research and outcome. It will come based on their your coordination and the values, how they are reaching the, how they are giving the importance to your values. Everything it will be involved. learn, develop, train, coach, and offer career growth. Everything it will be included. Then the final part is like an exit. I'm telling like after hiring the people, so I already given a 5 points. Then I'm giving the 7 stages. So exit, it's like a happy and a positive exit for experience to the your staff or your employee, because you will get some experience about the exist. So I just wanted to refer one book like a Legendary Businessman and the Investor by Warren Buffett. So everyone is telling like don't to be foolish in like your friends or your colleagues or your relatives. But Buffett spends more time to convince his long-time friend Charlie Munger to be his business partner. So I hope this book will be more useful to everyone. So I'm ending my speech, and I thank Mr. SK Associates CEO sir as well the attendee, and you started this conversation like this conference on beginning, sir. It's an amazing one, and you also mentioned like Aditi experience. He just having a previous internship experience, but he's doing like an amazing job, right? So experience is different, but how they are giving the values as well as your vision and mission. It's a major thing. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Selva.
I think
For your-
I closed my speech before on that, right? I'm just waiting for the questions from the audience.
No worries, it was a great and amazing speech by you, and I request you to kindly share your mail in the comment box for any queries our attendees might have.
Sure.
Now, I would like to request Ms. Rampriya, Associate Director of Talent Acquisition at Ramco Systems, to commence her speech.
Hi, SK Associates and Aditi and Kodishwari Ramar. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Before I go on, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, you're audible.
Great, thank you. So thanks for all the other participants. It's been a very insightful session so far. With much ado, I would like to give a presentation. I'm sharing my screen, and so that. Just a second, please. And please let me know if it is visible for you. Is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So today we are talking about building your dream team for your startup. So just to, before I start this presentation, what do you understand from this picture? What do you see out here?
Coordination.
Coordination, yeah. What else? What else can you see? I would like to hear from you guys.
Teamwork.
Teamwork,
Healthy teamwork.
healthy teamwork. What else? Yes, I think you're on track. So yeah, collaboration, coordination, teamwork. So for startup, it becomes very important to have this collaboration and cooperation, because we are starting things from scratch. So while you're starting up your company, it has become very important for you to hire the right team, because selecting the right startup team is winning half the battle. Because investors are not only listening to your pitch, but they're also interested in taking a look at your team's dynamic. How dynamic is your team? So that's why I've shown this picture where you have a diverse team out there, willing to win a battle. So diversity is very important, because if you're looking at scaling up your business, it becomes very important for you to hire people from different backgrounds, people who share different perspectives, because they are going to bring you new ideas, new perspectives to the business. Because as a startup, innovation is the key to success. As long as you're able to innovate and come out with a new product, innovation is the key. So for that, you need people with a different backgrounds. They're coming from different streams of business. So having said that, so what happens to recruiting such a team? So you can have people from some with experience, people as freshers, lateral hires. You can also have people from the freelancing community, or we call them the gig workers. I'm sure in today's post COVID era, gig economy is catching up big time. So what is gig economy? Gig workers. Who are gig workers?
Zomato or like short-term employment they provide.
Yeah, exactly. So these are people who work for multiple jobs. So these are called gig workers. So initially, as a startup, we may not have a healthy fund or a strong funding to hire people on great salaries. So gig workers can complement those skill sets and bridge the gap. So as startup founders, we should focus on quality rather than quantity, as part of their job is to connect with people who share the same drive and passion. So having a homogeneous team is what a startup can be successful at. So the next, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so the other tips that I would like to, the four pillars on which you can build your startup is selecting a co-founder, showing off your employer brand, coming up with an innovative recruitment strategy, and customer in the front and center business model. So selecting a co-founder, I'm sure in the last few years during pandemic and even before the pandemic, we were all hearing about new age startups coming up everywhere in India and across the globe. So what happens is most of these startups always had a co-founder. So what is the benefit of having a co-founder? Any idea? Why do I need a co-founder for my company? How does it help a startup? I would like to hear from you.
Co-founder gives us ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Co-founder can give you new ideas. He or she can bring some fresh perspectives or bring his expertise to that startup. I'm sorry, I'm hearing multiple voices. It's kind of distracting me. Okay, thanks. So, co-founder is actually helpful for a startup because one of the reasons could be he can help you with funding, and he can also help you broaden your network and associate. You can also associate yourself with someone who brings that expertise to the startup. So remember, you must complement and learn from each other. That's the secret of having a co-founder. And most of the companies, for example, Google founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin shared a common goal, and the goal was to improve the information search on the internet. So they had co-founders. A lot of companies, a lot of successful entrepreneurial ventures have had co-founders. And the second aspect or the second pillar, which is important for building your team, is showing off your employer brand. Because as a startup, it becomes very important for you all to showcase the brand that you're building in the market. So, how do you showcase your brand in today's world? As somebody pointed out in this forum, social media plays a very important role. We have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, Instagram, whatnot. So social media recruitment, social media branding has become very important. So when I say social media recruitment, so you should have a strategy to hire a significant part of your candidate pool from social media portals like LinkedIn or on Instagram. You have so many other social media job sites where you can position your brand. You'll have to, as a startup, there's a lot of investment, not just in terms of money, in terms of ideas also, to invest on social media branding. So again, additionally, creating social media content for employer branding is a great way to show off your unique startup culture. So what kind of culture is your organization or is your brand going to offer for your candidates? What is the unique selling point or the USP of your organization? So that should be more natural and expressed in a more candid way. And as I again told you, avoid homogeneous teams. We should be very careful that we are not having people from the same background, people with the same kind of attitude and mental makeup. So it's better to have homogeneous teams. And customer service should the fourth pillar that I want to talk about is customer centricity or customer service. In fact, one of the core values that Ramco, my company, Ramco Systems, believes in is customer centricity, putting customer in the heart of anything that we do. So customer is in the front, customer is in the center of our business model, which means to say that it is not just the responsibility of the customer service function or the marketing team or the sales team to have a customer centric approach. It is also every team member. For example, the receptionist should also be having customer centric approach to a visitor who walks into the office. So because he or she should be aligned towards the organization goals. So every team member should be driven by a desire to do right by the end consumer. So it's easy to get caught up, to in what's good for your bottom line. I get that revenue definitely makes all the difference. But you should be thinking about, while you should be thinking about the numbers, you can build a team that always places customer in the front and center of whatever they do. So that you will have no trouble meeting your revenue goals. So this goes for established businesses as well, but it becomes even more crucial for a startup. So putting customer in the heart and soul of whatever somebody does is very important for a startup. I'd like to show a small video. I'm not sure if you're able to see my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
No, ma'am, it's not visible.
Is it visible now? Innovative recruitment marketing? I'd like to play a small video for you. Is it
My
visible?
title is not visible.
Rampriya, actually your screen is stuck on the first page of your slide.
Okay. Can you see it now?
It was on the first slide only.
It's still on the first slide?
If you could just stop sharing once and try to.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Yeah,
I'll reshare it.
great.
I don't know. I'm not able to do it, but just give me a few minutes, please. Can you see it now? Because I'm able to see it.
Is it visible, Aditi?
No, it's not visible.
Not visible still.
Okay,
No issues,
so-
Ramapi. I guess you can continue with your speech.
Sure, I will. So what I wanted to show you was a recruitment strategy marketing, how a startup company has designed a very innovative approach to branding their product, branding not just their product, branding their workplace, also introducing their people, their office. So basically to attract Gen Z workforce, because startups are generally more excited to work with Gen Z workforce. So it was about that. And just also wanted to talk to you guys about something called the unicorn companies. Have you heard about unicorn companies? What are
Yes,
unicorn
we have.
companies? Unicorn companies. Last few years, we have been hearing about unicorn companies.
Yeah, $1 billion, I think, the
Yeah,
valuation.
the valuation when it crosses $1 billion, those are unicorn companies. So when somebody's starting their venture, an entrepreneur, it becomes again very important for them to understand whether they want to become unicorn companies or they want to become zebra companies. You have unicorn companies and you have zebra companies. So unicorn companies basically thrive and use the venture capital model. So they basically look for VCs, venture capitalists, to fund their business. Whereas the zebra companies are more looking for sustainable model of business where they embrace development and discovery of alternative funding sources. So both of them have a very similar strategy of impressive sales deck. They spend their energy in attracting VC investors. But whereas unicorn companies are focused more on exponential growth. They want to, for them, an IPO is often their end game. Whereas in a zebra company, they more focus on sustainable prosperity. So as an entrepreneur or as a startup, you will have to understand whether you want to build unicorn companies which can quickly make profits and probably vanish in a couple of years, because these are people who are very, very assertive, and their competition is usually the lifeblood of these companies. Or would you want to be a more stable organization who's not just focused only on the money and the profitability that they make, but also they are focused on building human resources. They are more humane in their approach. So that is something startup organizations need to be really careful about. So before I come to the end of my presentation, I also want to talk to you about something called minimum viability for startups, because startup organizations also have to look at viability of their product, viability of their business. So how important it is to build a team that is going to support your minimum viability model. So you can have a business that remains viable for years to come, but it is also equally important for us to build a team for the long term. So what does that mean? Somebody was mentioning here in this forum that you'll have to build a team with the organization's vision and mission in mind, keeping that in mind. So which means to say that the entire organization structure has to be kept in mind by the leader of the startup, considering the long-term vision for your business. So basically you can write down all the different departments that you need to bring that vision to reality. So you can have multiple departments. You can have marketing, sales department, you can have HR department, product and design, accounting and finance, and R&D, because R&D is a very important department for a startup. So you will have to basically think how these functions are necessary to give life to a minimally viable version of your business. When I say minimally viable, which is good enough it is a good enough product to attract the first users. So people who are interested to buy your product. For that, you'll have to build a team which supports your vision of a minimally viable product. So when you have laid that out, hire people who will be leaders for each of these functions. Maybe you can have few functions like marketing and sales and HR and product design and development. First of all, hire leaders for these functions. So this way, when you're ready to scale your business, there is far less friction. You already have a leadership structure in place. You can make a seamless transition into expanding your team at a later point of time. So that's why I said having a homogeneous team becomes imperative for building a startup organization. So with that, I would like to end my presentation, and I'd really love to hear from you guys if you have any questions around this. and or maybe your experiences of hearing and learning about building startup teams. And thank you, SK Associates, for this opportunity. Have a nice evening. Thank you.
Firstly, I would like to thank Rampriya for her amazing speech. You gave us multiple insights which haven't been pondered over yet. So that was really interesting. Further, we would like to thank Ms. Sridharan for her marvelous speech and also request her to share her email in the chat box for any queries our attendees might have. At the same time, we would also like to thank all our guests on the panel for all three sessions of the conference for making this such a warm event with your views, insights, and perspective. And lastly, we would like to thank all the attendees for patiently hearing us throughout the conference. Though, last but not the least, I have to mention that the Strategic Alliance team has worked quite hard on organizing this conference in a very short period of time and with barely any experience at all. So again, hats off to you. Though I'm a bit strict on deadline, but still, this was a good job. So for the moving, we would like to request all the attendees to vote for today's best speaker by typing the name of your preferred guest speaker for the day in the chat box. Okay? First, we have 2 minutes to commence the voting. You can all vote the names of your favorite speaker for today in the chat box immediately. Fast. We have approximately 42 attendees on the meet. I guess I can expect 42 responses too. But faster. And yeah, polls will be again held in the conference groups to ensure that we can count your votes in WhatsApp as well as your. So yeah, just do put it again. Faster. There are very less votes, just 10 to 15. We have yet 25 votes to go. Fast. More votes to come yet. I need a vote from everyone. We are living in a democracy. We need to be democratic. We need to vote for everyone. Ourselves. Come on, faster. Show some energy, guys. Do vote. Faster.